And
keep on singing and dancing all through the night. I was watching the Brady Bunch, the Silver Platters video to come up with
God.
I can't do the obviously I'm not doing the whole swinging around and pivoting on my knee type stuff that they were doing, but
that's amazing.
Hey, it was funny. The first comment I saw was, "What the hell did I just watch?"
Man, if you didn't grow up in the 60s and 70s, you just don't know what you missed.
Yeah, that had to be a 70s episode. The kids were a little bit older, but it was just it looked like 1970. 1970 called, they want their dance routine back. Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary.
I'm David. And
Gary, we're talking about the Brady Bunch. So,
the Brady Bunch, what shall we read on today?
Well, I wanted to read on Kamala Harris. And I was telling Dave the reason we hadn't done a Kamala Harris video in a while. And I've had a couple of dreams about Kamala Harris over the past week or two. Oh my, yes. It's funny because I never.
Does Doug know about this?
I've had a dream about Trump, but that was several months ago. But recently I had a dream.
Tell me about your JD Vance dreams.
Oh God,
America wants to know.
God, I'll pitch myself off a cliff. With Kamala Harris, it was, and ironically, she was wearing a purple dress, and but what was weird, what struck me is that, you know how like you if it's really hot out, how you can pit your shirt. Her dress was definitely she had pitted her dress, so there was a lot of moisture under the armpits of it, which could either mean that she was very nervous or she was working very hard. But clearly she was in some degree of, she wasn't relaxed and comfortable. There was some stress that she was contending with. And I was lobbying her hard in the dream. You gotta look at the election results. Come on. We know that something wasn't right about this. You need to do something. And so I thought, okay, well, that's been kind of playing in the back of my mind. It's just like, okay, let's do a reading on the energy of Kamala Harris. Dave and I did the reading that came out today about the dominoes starting to fall. That was a very encouraging reading.
By the way, we record this. This is being recorded on December 8th.
Yes, Sunday, September 8th.
At 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, but Gary's referring to the video that went up midnight on Sunday.
Yes, thank you for the correction, for the clarification. Yeah, so the video that came out Sunday, which is now 13 hours old, was very positive as to that the Democrats were looking at stuff. We had that Knight of Wands as the foundation, the Knight of Swords as the challenge. Getting to work and trying to get that message out there as quickly as possible and taking action. So I wanted to read on Kamala Harris and how is she doing right now, and then maybe we can see what her future looks like.
Certainly with Gary got a little bit of a different impression from the Gavin Newsom video than I had, but last week around Thursday or so, or Friday morning when I did my Gavin Newsom reading, for the week or two prior to that, it's like if they are investigating this, they've been keeping it really quiet. It could mean that they're not investigating at all, and get yourself prepared that Trump is going to be in and that they're not doing anything, so that if they do come up with something, your expectations are like, wow, they actually did it, as opposed to them being dashed. After that, I am jazzed up that they are actually doing something. I am convinced they're doing something. I'm going to crash really hard if in the next 6 weeks nothing comes out of this. I'm going to crash really hard, but I'm going to allow myself that, because my optimism is up again, which means that there's a long way to fall with this. But Kamala Harris general energy. You want to start it off?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay. This will be for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, so Kamala Harris. So how are you feeling? What's the general energy on Kamala?
Hey, chick, how's it going? Stop hitting your shirt. May I recommend this antiperspirant?
Exactly, antiperspirant in my dreams. Okay, foundation of the reading is the Eight of Wands. A lot of actions, a lot of messaging is happening, and it's happening very quickly. The challenge, or the cross of the Page of Swords. Some new things that we didn't expect. New challenges that we didn't anticipate. This is like, whoa, hey, wait a minute. This wasn't what I was expecting to see. It could be the election results didn't go her way. It could be finding out the reason why those election results didn't go her way.
The other thing, the Page of Swords can also be your spy in the camp. So there could be, messaging on, spying information or something like that that could impact the election. That's another way to look at that.
That's kind of fascinating because I believe Libby has done some readings on, in fact, I know she's done some readings on like the Trump going to France, and there was, it was when the president of Canada went down.
Pull your laptop up. Let's people see your mug as opposed to your Godfather's shirt, your Catfather's shirt.
Yeah, when Macron went down, was it Macron? No, Trudeau went down to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Trump. And what Libby was asking was, were there ulterior motives for this? In other words, was it just say, hi, you're a convicted felon, you can't come to Canada, so I'll come to you? No, they were checking things out. And they were looking at, kind of like you said, the spy in the camp. They're looking around and trying to see what's going on here. So there could be a situation where that's exactly what that Page of Swords is the spy is now reporting back, and they're getting the information that they, maybe links of information that they required in order to move this thing forward.
I'll bet when Justin Trudeau was down in Mar-a-Lago, Melania and Ivanka showed up too. Trump probably hadn't seen either one of them in months, and all of a sudden they're there.
I wonder if Melania dropped her napkin.
Yes, exactly. Okay, that's a "What's Up, Doc" reference, as opposed to a maiden dropping her handkerchief and having some knight scoop it up and hand it to her on bended knee.
Well, I guess it's kind of both, isn't it?
Right, carry on.
Yes, for those of you who saw "What's Up, Doc," that was Barbara Streisand's ploy to get Ryan
the end of the table.
Ryan O'Neal under the table. Okay, so underneath it is the Seven of Pentacles. Kind of reflecting on the things of value, kind of you reap what you sow situation. So is she, once again, is she looking at what could have been if I only had done better, or, looking back and thinking, oh, I see, this is someone has been sowing poop, and that's what I'm reaping.
She's a prosecutor. It's like evaluating the evidence, huh?
Yeah, that exactly. That I like that.
Yeah. Who knew? Who knew?
In the past, you got the Page of Cups. Things looking crazy. This is not what I was expecting. She wasn't expecting Trump to take this election, and that the craziness that led up to the election as well as the election. The current situation is the Magician. It could be they're looking at how did they make this happen? Or it could be, what do we need to do to move ourselves forward? What do we need to manifest here? But this is definitely going to need some clarification. Overarching energy to the Knight of Swords. Okay, I think I know what that means. Knight of Swords. We need to move forward, and we need to move forward quickly. Almost recklessly. It's like the time is now. We don't have time to be thoughtful and methodical. We have to look at the evidence, sure, but we need to act, and we need to act decisively now.
It's almost a crusader type of thing too, that once you give her like the Ace of Swords type thing, and she's ready to charge forward with it.
The lesson to be learned is the Eight of Swords, which is not the Ace of Swords, but the Eight of Swords, which is, I think, the lesson to be learned is even though you don't think there's a way out, that you're trapped, if you just take off the blindfold, you'll see the path. Take off the things that bind you, and you can move out of this situation. Cut off the ropes that bind me. And the outcome, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
We're a new path. It could be that she is looking into new opportunities, or it could be that if she has examined things and realized how things got manifested, they're going to move forward. They're going to cut the bonds and get out of the trap that they're in, and there will be a new beginning for Kamala Harris, which could involve being in D.C. in January, and not as vice president.
It's almost like something new that's being unleashed on the United States, something we've never seen before. You get tired of saying the word unprecedented when it comes to things involving Donald Trump, but that's who he is.
Unprecedented.
Yeah, and we want to unpresident him too.
Yes.
With regards to election interference and such, if she has she seen enough information that makes her want to go forward and challenge this election? Now, as a prosecutor, I think it's actually one of the great things about her is the fact that she is a former district attorney. She's a prosecutor. She's been attorney general. She's not going to be the type that files 60 lawsuits or in different courts saying how the election was stolen and not have an ounce of data to support all those court filings.
Yes, evidence-free filing.
Yeah, it's going to be, not only is she going to look at the evidence, but then she's got to look at the evidence to say, do we have enough to show widespread fraud, and did that widespread fraud actually impact the results of the election? Because this isn't about sour grapes and saying, well, they cheated, therefore stuff. It's like, did they cheat enough that it actually impacted the election? Because if it didn't, why trash the American electoral process if you don't need to? She's not into the destruction. Okay, so Kamala Harris, does she have the evidence? What's she going to do with it if she's got enough? The Empress sitting on it. I think she's got everything. The Empress makes sure that everybody's got everything that they need. And when this card's coming up in this position, she's not a lazy, entitled person, despite what right-wing media would have you believe about her. So this is telling me she's sitting on the case. She knows the case has got everything it needs. Crossed with the Eight of Cups. And underneath is the Four of Swords. Right now, she's looking at the evidence and she's contemplating what she's going to do. Because part of it is, do I walk away? Did the voters reject me? Did they really reject me? Or am I abandoning people if I don't pursue this? That's kind of where she is with things. Again, if there's not enough there, she's willing to walk away with it. She's willing to surrender that if that's the case. In the past, Ace of Pentacles, there's been money is influencing it, but I think they found a treasure trove of information. Just like Gary, we got the Eight of Wands. Now it's the messaging. The other thing I've often said is it's not only enough to have evidence, but now you got to start the PR campaign. You've got to convince the Democrats that this election was stolen. That won't be difficult. But then you have to convince reporters. You have to convince independent voters. You have to convince moderate Republicans. You have to convince conservatives that the election was stolen. There's no convincing MAGA. They're not living on the same reality as the rest of us. But for the other 70 to 80% of the population, you need to bring forward that evidence, that PR campaign. Overarching energy is the strength card. This is the time to be strong. You cannot fold. If you're going to go with this and say the election was interfered, you've got to be strong. Show the evidence. It's going to be exposed. Yeah, she's got enough. She's got enough. This is coming. The announcement about this election being stolen, I actually think it's coming quickly because this is broadcasting quickly here. It might happen this week. That type of quickly. And then outcome is the Four of Coins. Once you've, oh God, it's such a Kamala Harris card. And before you say, well, what do you mean? And then we got the disappointment.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you to pull that because that card wanted to.
Yeah. So underneath it, she has to be quiet, but it's that disappointment that, I won this election and I thought I lost. And I walked away. I was ready to throw it all away. It's also kind of the, you fight, we win. We fought, we didn't win. I can't believe this. But, if the election was stolen, disappointment in the American judicial system or the American political system. Four of Coins. The reason why I say that's an amazing Kamala Harris card is that if you've ever watched Kamala Harris as a senator grilling William Barr, grilling Brett Kavanaugh, she always asks a question and she's got this little smirk on her face as she asks it because it's to communicate, I know the answer to the question I'm asking you, and it's going to put you in a very awkward spot, and your best choice is to tell the truth so that you do not commit perjury. And this is kind of I'm not letting you know everything I know. I'm letting you know enough that I know, but you're not going to know how much I know. And that's her style. It's, I'm going to give you a simple yes, no question. Are you going to answer it properly? And what you end up watching these guys doing is like they start stammering over them. They're falling over themselves. Well, I don't know what you mean by the word is, stealing that Bill Clinton line. Can you define is? Yes. Well, I'm struggling to understand what you mean by this. So she'll rephrase the question. And then she'll say yes or no. So it's like, has the question for Bill Barr was, has President Trump asked you to investigate or suggest you investigate anyone or anything as when he was president? And he's like, well, what do you mean by investigate? That's not a yes or no. It's like she lets them try and figure out how they're going to split hairs so that they can lie and try and claim some plausible deniability with their lies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Yeah. Did you have something you wanted to throw up?
Maybe. If I want to. We could just go for the jugular. Will Kamala Harris be elected in January? So
she may not. I mean, it may not. We don't know the time. I was just listening to Sterling this morning, and he's like, "Well, I see her getting put in, but could it be January? Could it be March? It just depends. We don't know the answer. It's possible. Maybe Biden steps down and names her the president, and then she maintains the presidency while they're investigating this election. That's a possibility too.
So that's what I was going to throw on, but it might be too vague.
Sure.
So should I go ahead and throw on it? What the heck?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, let's see. Will Kamala Harris be inaugurated as president in January?
What year?
2025.
Yes, those spirits, time over on the other side or some BS like that.
Okay, foundation of the reading is Trump doesn't want her to be. This is my Trump health. Trump trying to hold all the resources for himself. But what did you just have it in your reading?
Mine is that she sits on information. She doesn't tell you everything everything that she knows, and it might be that we don't know.
Yeah, let's see. Trump doesn't want to give it up. They're making him an offer. It's like, hey, look, this is very interesting because this is starting to feel like we've got the evidence, pal. You need to step. You need to step aside. No, I don't want to. Look, we'll make this worth your while. Okay.
We'll pardon you. Get out. Leave the country.
We'll give you the home version. We'll throw an inauguration at Mar-a-Lago for you. The star card. You know, this is about
who actually won the election.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, we've been sitting back. We've been observing. We're gonna make offers to you, and it's Trump. It's time. Underneath it is getting rid of the emotions and walking away from this. Okay,
honestly, I wonder if this is one of those things where they're not answering your question.
Yeah, they certainly. It doesn't seem to be.
That looks like you just do clarifiers on my reading.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, what does that 4 of coins mean? It means that they're going to go forward and explain things to both sides. Yep. They're going to make an offer, a deal about who actually won the election, and that 8 of Cups is back there again. She almost quit.
Yeah.
She almost quit.
She almost quit because she felt like she was being rejected. Yeah.
And there was no evidence otherwise, and now she's sitting on evidence.
You know, I think you've nailed it there. Because I was kind of hesitant to throw on that, but that's, you know, when you threw the 4 of Pentacles, that was my first thought. Is okay. Well, in my mind, that I always get that as, you know, Trump being selfish and keeping everything for himself. And you came up with a difference. So I was kind of wondering, you know, is that really what it means, or is it, you know?
Here's something else to throw at you. What if that was telling you that they're willing to have another election, a do-over, kind of like they're doing in Romania? Bring it down.
Yeah.
If you still have it. You know, we don't know about the results. I'll give you an offer. We're going to do a do-over on this one to elect the president. You know, we're going to, that undercard is, we're going to vacate the results of the November election, and we'll have another one. And this time, you know, the tabulators are going to work properly.
Yeah.
We found the software bug, and we've now got it fixed. Go out and vote.
Yep. Yeah. All those millions of people that think you're the best president ever, they'll show up again and vote for you.
Exactly. And of course they'll scream, "Oh, but the Democrats will go out and vote this time because we're going to take away their rights." Yeah, well, they did the first time. The other thing is, can you imagine, you know, all these black MAGAs that are now being bought for, we just needed you for your vote. All these minorities that voted for MAGA, and then these guys like, yeah, we just need you for your vote. We don't need your vote anymore. And then you hear that they really are going to deport all the immigrants, all the illegal immigrants, and even their kids who were born here and are U.S. citizens. He wants to deport those folks too.
Yep.
And the idiots that voted for Trump, forgetting somehow that their parents were illegal immigrants or their girlfriend was an illegal immigrant and didn't think Trump was going to do anything about it. Now they can see, oh, crap, I was an idiot. All these people that didn't get invited to Thanksgiving because they didn't think, it was like, well, I voted for Trump because he's a businessman. Yeah, well, the women in the family, like, what about our rights that he's taken away? You know, guy couldn't think beyond the tip of his nose. And it got made real to them.
Well, that's, you know, the typical Trump voter that's not super MAGA, that there's a lot of one position,
one issue voting.
One issue, thank you. One issue voters out there. Oh, well, I don't believe that abortion should be legal, so I'm going to vote for Trump. You know, and then you got to take everything else that comes with that platform, because his platform is very wide-reaching, and in some ways, somewhat contradictory. You know,
and then all the Project 2025 stuff they want to implement that you didn't know about or didn't bother to read about or didn't think he was going to do, and now they're doing it. It's like, you know, and let's just look at his cabinet picks as,
oh God, the best of the best, right?
Yeah, no kidding. All right, I think we're done here.
I think we're very done here.
I think Kamala is done too, but we'll find out soon enough. Yes. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting our channel. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Give us a thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe. We put out a new video every day at midnight Pacific time. and leave a comment. I read them all, and I respond to many.
And again,
And-
these readings, yes. Oh, the
And
secret
these
card.
readings are for entertainment purposes only.
Purposes only, but we do hope that they do provide you some insight as to what might be going on in the background. And we will leave you with the Judgment card as your secret card. Judgment.
Judgment
Yeah.
card.
Listen to the clarion call of spirit. Believe what you hear. Believe what you see. Don't take it sitting down. Stand up and rise up.
Yep. Stand up and rise up and stand up for what you believe in.
Exactly. And with that, we will say ta-ta.
Ta-ta.